this is so dorky. I used to remember. Oh God, I don't even know if I want to tell this story. Welcome to Uncool with Alexa Bliss, a podcast where we celebrate the one thing that unites us all, our awkward teenage years. So, I've talked all about how my biggest crush growing up was Lance Basterman-Sink. Well, I hope he doesn't find out that my heart also belonged to another pop star back in the day, my guest, Taylor Hanson of Hanson Mbop fame. That catchy tune was one of the biggest songs of the late 90s, and Taylor was the front and center of all of it at just 14 years old. And at the height of their success, and my love for him, Taylor was going through puberty, spending every waking moment with his brothers, finding the best fast food spots across the country tour after tour. So let's drop in on my conversation with my first childhood crush, who I may or may not have looked exactly like when I was infatuated with him, Taylor Hanson. Taylor, welcome. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's awesome.
So this podcast is about, well, we talked about this. It's going to be a little bit hard for you because you grew up in the limelight, in the spotlight, being pretty much everyone's version of cool. So what we're trying to figure out is, were you ever uncool?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I think, first of all, it's great to be on. And I would ask you the same question. I'm trying to imagine, you seem like a go-getter. You found, I find it hard to see you standing on the sidelines, slumped down, at school dance. I can see you like out there making it happen.
Oh, no. We'll get to that later. Well,
no?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's funny because I think feeling cool and being someone thinking you are, I think is oftentimes very different, right? And someone else might go, oh man, I always thought you had it figured out, or you were, you guys were so, together. I mean, not as a successful person, just any person you have a relationship with, you might think, oh, that guy's got it covered. But I think most of my life I've felt uncool. So I think coolness is, I've always felt like to truly be cool, you've got to start with just being okay with what you are, and because really you never are, right? You're never actually, if you're chasing it around trying to be, then that's the most uncool thing you could do, right? Hey, no, look at me, look how,
Right.
I've always felt, I don't really know if I am or not, or what that, but I know I have to be okay with me or I'll go nuts.
Right.
So
now, how old were you when you first started touring?
Well, so we started being brothers, we started singing so young. I mean, it's like unfair to regular bands because it's not like you can, you just walk next door and, to the end of the room and say, let's rehearse, so we started touring actively when I was 14.
Oh, so right in those teenage years.
Yeah, it was good times. It was, I say both positively and sarcastically, because of course, like, yeah, when you're that age, I mean, it is all happening, right? It's all the question marks of, figuring out who you really are, though you may be doing something that you really love doing. You're definitely, in a major, I think, a time of questioning, and a time of insecurity.
Right.
Nothing like being out there, I mean, for guys, especially with voice change, right? You see that there's that moment where it all happens. And that's the big noticeable thing for the guys is, hey, So being a singer, that was devastating. And to come through that,
right.
You don't just, have your voice squeak at the school, talent show or, the local bar gig. Now you're in front of 20,000 people.
Right. Thousands of people that see that.
Yeah. It's like, how do you keep it together, And so, I mean, that was, again, not to make that some bigger thing than it is, because there's so many real, like, deep challenges that people go through. But that was a, 13, 14, that was the main event in my world, is just trying to not be the, Peter Brady in front of a big audience,
Right. Now you're one of 7 children. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm number 2 of 7. Yeah.
Did you travel with just Zach and Isaac, or was it everyone traveling together, or did you guys?
Well, the first couple tours we had everybody, because, so we started singing when I was 9, and we made, those were really, we can rewind and go back to those eras pre-signing, and because there was a lot of cardigan sweaters and a lot of geeky times. But yeah, those first 2 major tours we had our whole family, especially because you've got a drummer that's 11 years old. I mean,
Right.
so I mean, the idea of like, hey, see ya, your parents just sending you off on the road wouldn't make any sense. But so yeah, we had our whole posse out. We had there's a couple family buses. But really after the second, it was really the first 2 tours, and even on the second tour, it was already, it wasn't what it was on the first, where everyone was so young. It started to sort of not make as much sense. But yeah, it was a big posse.
How did the whole image of you guys come to be? Like, I remember Middle of Nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
I had the cassette in the cover.
Oh,
Y'all
cassettes.
yeah. I got it for Easter with my Titanic cassette, the Titanic soundtrack. It was fantastic. And so your whole look, did you guys come up with that yourselves? The long hair? Did someone tell you to do that, or was just one of you like, hey, we should just grow our hair out as long as we can? And
well, it literally just kept growing. It's if you looked at our band, we started singing, and like a lot of people singing in church or singing in groups of others that were had a particular interest that you could, we had a lot of cousins and family that different people in the family tree that were singers, but nobody was professional. And we were started off, as, guys in cardigans that looked like, the Everly Brothers in the 50s or something, very, very straight laced. The thing is, that time in the early 90s, I mean, what was happening was grunge and, rock bands that were kind of coming out, and they had this other look. And so I didn't consciously think, let's emulate this, but we were just kids, we were just being, and so essentially at some point the hair stopped being cut, and it became a thing. It was like,
it
we
became
were guys,
a huge thing.
Yeah, it wasn't really like, no one sat down and said, here's your image. And I think that's one of the funny things about our band breaking out is, we were, if anything, we were almost too insular. If like, we were not looking out at anybody else. We didn't care, whether what we were doing was trendy. We wanted to be successful, but it was like the long hair and the look. It was guys in 1992, 3, 4, 5 that were looking at Pearl Jam and looking at Nirvana and just, being current, being interested in what was happening around them. The difference was we were listening to music that had nothing to do with that. We were listening to Jackson 5 and Otis Redding and soul music and rock and roll. And so it was this weird dichotomy of, like, Michael Jackson for me is like the epitome of right. performers and singers. Like, obviously the world loves Michael Jackson, but for me personally, that's what I just went, okay, done, and stop. Like, whatever that is, like, I want to get as close to that as possible. But then you look at us and we look like the younger brothers of Kurt Cobain, somewhere, right. Still at home, and so it was very organic. It was very, it was much more like your younger brother that just won't shower and doesn't want to actually
right.
dress themselves properly, and I see that now because I have, a bunch of kids, and I have the different people in their different headspaces. Like, one of my boys, he's like, oh, I have to clean myself, I have to shower. I did last week,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what it was. It was very, very natural, and very much just, this is what we're about. And honestly, not caring as much about that element, because we were too young to be into rock and roll for the sex and drugs idea, right?
Right.
So we were there for music. I mean, we were there for what we were actually doing. So, but we never really felt cool, and never have, honestly.
Right. So that's so hard to think of too, because you would think that these teenage boys traveling, having thousands and thousands of fans screaming for them, wanting to meet them, wanting to be like them, and you guys just think you're uncool. Like, that's probably the coolest part about it. I always say it's cool to be uncool, because you may think something of yourself, but someone's going to see you in a whole different light. And to kind of peel back and find out what that person actually thinks of themselves internally is really cool. And that's why we've tried to get as many people as we can on here and talk about stuff like that. And so traveling with your brothers.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever fight? Did you guys kind of get along pretty well? I mean, 3 teenage boys, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, we do get along really well, but we get along as well as we do mostly because we're really different. Everybody's very much in their own lane. And brother fights, I don't know, for us, it's the stuff that's cutting and deep that you're, constantly able to hit each other with. Right. It might not seem like an outright fight. But it's, it's stuff like, people making, poking each other about, I mean, honestly, stuff like, why are you wearing that shirt, in right before you're about to be in front of people? And, why are you, details about something somebody said that nobody else knows that someone mentions right before, you're in a situation where you're gonna have to explain yourself. And I think those are the kinds of things that are actually real fights, like where people, they go on for years, right. But we didn't have we weren't like the, rolling around in the front lounge of the bus, punching each other. Zach's a hardcore gamer, always was. Ike is a deep conversationalist. And then I'm like the middleman,
Right. What would be a typical day for you guys at this age as teenagers thinking you were uncool? What was a typical day on the road for you guys? Did you guys have a favorite place that you would always make sure you stop and ate? Because I know like on the road for us, anytime there's a Skyline in Ohio, I go to it. You know what I mean? There's little places that you love and you have to go to.
Being on the road, fast food and as we call it in Oklahoma, pop.
And we call it pop.
Yeah, it's pop in Oklahoma for sure. Dr. Pepper is a religion. It's my wife's from Georgia where Coke is like water for them.
Yep.
But here it's Dr. Pepper. And so, I mean, a typical road day in so many cases is like it's been for us now. It's like everybody finds their corner. Everybody finds their thing they're interested in. And Zach is usually in the back lounge playing video games. I'm trying to find some kind of something local that we've never experienced, like finding some weird diner and probably seeking out the worst possible thing I could put in my body, like a foot-long chili dog or something like that. There's something about like lowbrow eats. I'm a super huge foodie, but I actually love like the worst, heaviest, nastiest, hot dog, double cheeseburger. Whatever.
Oh, heck yeah. That's how I am with cheese fries. Cheese fries, any kind of cheese fries, those are my jam.
It requires some kind of, at some point in life, you're a regimen of like, oh, I just have to exercise if I'm going to eat all this stuff. But especially as, spent so much time in LA, especially in the first 10 or 15 years, constantly working there before we built a studio in Oklahoma. And a typical, drive-through is In-N-Out Burger. You're an In-N-Out Burger fan? Two double doubles.
I just had it the first time this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I know. So I've never been an LA person because it's so ridiculous, but because I'm terrified of earthquakes and I've seen the movies, I've seen San Andreas. I know Dwayne Johnson is not going to come on a helicopter and save me.
You just referenced seeing San Andreas.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. It's like buildings crashing down, just everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And so, I'm not dumb. I know The Rock's not going to come in a helicopter, swoop down and save me. He doesn't know me.
That would be awesome.
Right. I mean, I've tweeted that to him once and he said he would, but you can't really, when it's all said and done, if it actually happens. So I was never a California person. And then just recently I started going to California a lot and I actually lived through my first earthquake. It was about 4 seconds long.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We were all sitting there playing Phase 10, which is an amazing game. And all of a sudden the house shakes and then it just stops and everyone just keeps talking. And I'm that person. I was like, was that an earthquake? And everyone was like, yeah. So of course I had to text all my friends and be like, I don't want to say I'm a survivor, but I survived my first earthquake. And so
Earthquake survivor.
Yes. So with that, now In-N-Out has become a regular thing for me. It's the double, but I have to get it the lettuce wrap style, and the fries extra well done.
Ah. Yeah, you know the secret menu. Yeah, they're all of the secret things that you have to request.
There's a secret menu?
Oh, there's a secret menu. Yeah. So, well, when you say extra well done, like even that is like the tip of the iceberg. But like you can order it with, you can order fries with chili. You can order with cheese, with the animal style. If you say animal style, it's grilled onions. Yeah, it's just like you can probably find it online. You can Google the secret menu.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm missing out.
Yeah, In-N-Out quick. It's an essential part of the LA vernacular, but doesn't sound very we're talking all of our LA-ness sounds very like, not uncool, like but for me that was my backyard, and especially in teen years, before, like I said, before we set up more of our space here in Oklahoma. But 2 double doubles, fries, and a chocolate shake, that was my standard order at 15, and that would just be like done. It's like, okay, what's next? Where else are we going to go? We're going to hit up Tommy Burger or something like that. So, I mean, that era is like I could eat anything, and, In-N-Out 2 times a day would easily be, a pattern.
What was it like on the road? I'm sure you guys got schooling on the road. I'm sure you had to do school on the road. What was your guys' social life like? Being teenagers, did you guys go on dates? Do you remember your first date? What was that like?
Honestly, we were like old guys in a band in minus the alcohol at that point, because no, there was not a lot of dating. And I always had this, I want to say fear, but it was just like the next thing we were doing was what was on my mind, because it was so insane that we sort of grabbed that amazing thing of having success with your record as a teenager. And I would just wake up every day with this impending, like, okay, we better win the next thing, we better be at the so I guess it sounds like a workaholic, but it was getting to the next city and finding out the next, like I said, the next random place to eat, or a special place in that city, and hunkering it down in the bus to the hotel. I mean, and writing and trying to find inspiration from music while you're going. And I guess, yeah, I mean, movies has always been a huge part of our, our side hustle on the entertainment side.
Right. So did you all write music together? I mean, or was everyone just kind of doing their own thing separate? Because I'm sure, you guys all being 3 different ages, you all wrote about different things about what gave you inspiration to write music. So how was that process?
There's always a combination of writing together and apart. I mean, we would absolutely, honestly, prepping for a show, sound checks, we turned epic 3-hour, sound checks into songwriting, backstage between shows. But yeah, I mean, as far as what we're pulling from inspiration wise, we were like guys in a band that happened to be that age. We used to say, think of us as old guys with high voices. And it's not that we weren't having, kid perspective and experiences. I mean, but honestly, it was so much of what we were doing. For me, it was still just like this sense that we'd achieved something, that was the dream. And so was always thinking about what was next, what was the next thing we could, the next song, the next show. But inspiration wise, like movies, and honestly getting to travel. I mean, getting to see the world was like, to me, like, I still love so much just getting up in a new place and be in a city that you never experienced.
Right.
So that always gave me inspiration. But you don't feel cool, even you don't feel cool. You feel like you
never once.
In
Not
your own.
Once.
I feel confident in what I'm confident in what we do, but I never felt like I was seen by, especially my peers, as quote unquote cool is more like you think of it as there's this thing that you've become that people that know you for, right?
Right.
But you're still awkward with girls. You're still awkward with, all the things that go back to your human experience. I mean, you're still,
Right.
how do I say something interesting? Just all the things that I think are just human, like that doesn't really change. And if anything, listening, like talking, your listeners, it's like, if you feel uncool, you remember what it's like to feel awkward or have a bad haircut or, trust me, you're not alone. Like maybe that's sad actually, but it's true. I mean, I think you still second guess yourself on all kinds of those, those little things.
Growing up, I could never speak to boys. I could never, because partially growing up, I kind of looked like a boy.
I find that hard to believe. I'm not, I need to.
I've got the pictures. This was not what the gentlemen were looking for. I had my sweater vest.
Oh man, you could have been an early Hanson. You really could be the early Hanson days, the sweater vest days.
Well, I was told I looked like a Hanson brother. The hair.
Oh no, you're much prettier than we are.
Yeah. Well, thank you. But no, I was a huge Hanson fan growing up. I remember I had the VHS, the Tulsa, Tokyo, Middle of Nowhere.
Oh yeah.
I had Absolutely. That, and I was younger, and I would watch it all the time. It was like my favorite thing to watch, and I loved watching it, and I loved listening to Man from Milwaukee, and because y'all performed it on that VHS, mm-hmm. And my mother recorded over it on accident.
No.
But she didn't tell me she recorded over it because she didn't have the heart to tell me. So she told me it got lost. And I stayed in my room and cried for 3 days. And then she finally had to tell me that she accidentally recorded over it, which made it even worse. Mind you, I'm young, and I had the shirt, I had the cassettes, I had everything, I was the diehard. Yeah. And I had the biggest crush on you guys. And it was just so funny because I would always remember, this is so dorky. I used to remember, oh God, I don't even know if I want to tell this story. So, when you go to bed, at night, you say your prayers, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I remember my grandma found a t-shirt, a Hanson t-shirt, and she was sending it down to Florida because I was living in Florida at the time. And I used to pray that I would be able to go to a concert and meet you guys. That was like my whole thing. I'd be like, please let me meet Hanson. That was literally my prayers growing up.
Nightly prayer.
My nightly prayers. So that was me at my utmost, looking like a Hanson brother, wishing to meet the Hanson brothers. That was like, was me. That was me growing up. So when you say, oh, I don't imagine you as the one in the corner. Oh, I've had every single embarrassing moment you could ever imagine, whether it's in high school, middle school, the whole thing. Like I've been through it all.
Well, you've turned all those experiences into a very different trajectory. So kudos. Thanks for keeping us in your prayers.
Oh, that was my childhood prayers. Literally, I was something. But then when my VHS was, RIP, tragically gone, that was a real crusher.
Oh my God. Did you ever get another copy?
No, because my mom couldn't find one anywhere. But then
we might have to find. We might be able to work on that.
We might have to find one
for your archive. You need one for your
to put up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop culture, historic references.
You're married with 6 children.
Yes.
6 children. How did you, if you feel comfortable, how did you meet your wife?
Well, we actually, not surprisingly, because of what we do, we met while we were on the road. Oh. And yeah, we had, it's been a while since I told this story, but my wife and a friend of hers were at an event we were doing in Atlanta, and they came to see us at the show in Atlanta, invited by a friend, and basically, started dating. That second tour, this time around, we were traveling, and started dating, have been dating her since I was 17.
Oh, wow. So you were really young.
Yeah, we met after the show and just had that instant connect. I mean, I think for me, I would not want to try and get my attention at that age, because I was very distracted, like obviously I was describing whatever we were doing, but she was beautiful and confident, and I think that confidence is was probably the biggest thing that attracted me to her, was just that she was at ease. She was we were immediately, when you meet somebody, you just feel like you know them already. Right. You have this sense of like there's just a click, and that's how it was. We just immediately connected, and we talked about music, and the rest is history. Yeah.
So obviously she thought you were cool, at least.
I guess she thought. She thought I was cool, but she learned out very quickly that wasn't true. But, I don't know. It's such an interesting. I mean, it's like the whole subject of coolness is really a forever, sort of interesting question, because I mean, we have people all this, maybe culture like Alexa as cool, like Steve McQueen, or these like sort of rock and roller people, or people that stand alone. But I think as you get older, I think it's just so much of what it is to be cool is just to be confident, I think, in what you are, right. Otherwise, because something's not, you're not going to be the epitome of cool to all people in any situation.
Right.
And so chasing that, is impossible. But I would, early days, especially, I think probably the least cool thing we did as a group was singing in order to get free pizza at Pizza Hut. We would be able to sing on a dime.
Right.
And very early days, cardigan sweater, straight out of the, private school look, but dorkier. And, hey, we're going to, we can sing for you. We can harmonize, and check this out. And we would fully commit to that. And there's no footage of that, thankfully. But hey, I mean, come on, we will work for pizza.
How many times did that work? A lot?
It worked a couple times. You'd be amazed at what three kids harmonizing, on a dime can get you.
Right.
people, first of all, they look at you, they're like, where are your parents? What's wrong with you kids? They immediately sort of think child abuse.
Right. They're like, we'll sing for food.
Yeah, we will sing for food, please. It was more, I wonder what response can we get from this situation?
Right.
But, just being confident enough, to do that. And, maybe somebody might see that, oh, that kid's cool, little kid, across the way, that kid seems cool because they're doing what they, they have the confidence to do that. But inside you're thinking, oh my God,
Right.
And in so many ways, it takes a lot more confidence, and it's even harder, I think, to be in front of just a small group of people that you can touch and, interact with, than even that crowd of 1,000 or more, because that stuff's very distant. When you have to put yourself out there,
right.
And you feel like you can look in the eyes of the people that you're trying to not be a dork in front of, or not be awkward in front of. I think that is more intimidating.
100%.
Than anything,
I think it's definitely harder to perform in front of smaller crowds than larger crowds, because larger crowds, you can kind of just tune everyone out and just do your thing. But I think if you have a smaller, more intimate, with our live events, it's always a smaller crowd. And there's been times where I feel like I can literally make eye contact with everyone in the audience.
Yeah. And they can just see straight through you.
Yeah. And it's so nerve-wracking, and it's just so intimidating. And I mean, I wish I could like wrestle for free pizza. I think that would be awesome.
Well, you're just not that kind of girl, but you probably could. Somebody would give you free pizza. It probably wouldn't work at Pizza Hut. They might throw you out, but
well, I'll be like, hey, I'm a wrestler. Let me just wrestle. I'll do something. I'll body slam you if you give me a free pizza.
Yeah, no, I think you've way past that category. I embrace the fact that you've never and will do that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one really knows my love for pizza. That's the thing. I'd be willing to take that risk. I love pizza, of course. I'd be willing to take that risk 100%.
Okay. Well, so what's your pizza? If you had a style of pizza, do you have like a go-to?
I
Are you
do.
thin crust? Are you thick crust? Are you a New York style? Do you like?
Well, where are we getting it from? Is it Pizza Hut specifically? Because
No,
if
I'm
it's
I'm talking about the world of pizza. All
the world of
pizza.
pizza, okay. For me, I like the thick crust. I like the Jets pizza, the big
Yeah.
8-corner pizza,
Yeah.
and I like getting all veggie pizza with pepperoni added because
Oh,
then they add extra pepperoni.
got it.
Because I don't like to be limited to all my options. You know what I'm saying? Or a good do you believe in pineapple on pizza?
I don't not believe in it. I wouldn't say I don't believe in it, but it's not my go-to.
Okay.
I
So
think I totally get why people like it.
right.
It's like I can consume it, but I wouldn't put it on my top list.
You wouldn't. So there's only one place that I like pineapple on pizza from, and it's in Ohio. And they had, because here's how they would do it though. They would do the sauce, the cheese, but I would get pepperoni and pineapple, not ham and pineapple. Pepperoni and pineapple to get the sweet and salty mix.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'd put another layer of cheese on it.
Oh my God.
So the pizzas, it was called Rotolo's, and it only looked like a big cheese pizza. Every single pizza looked like it was just cheese, but then you bite into it and all your toppings are between the cheeses.
It's layered. Yeah. It's a deeper kind of pizza. It has more to it. It's more content.
Yeah.
Well, so it
Amazing.
sounds like Chicago style pizza would be something.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I've never met a pizza that I didn't like. That's my issue. Is there anything that you guys are going to be doing coming up? What's the next plan for you?
We're doing a bunch of projects. I mean, of course, right now the whole world has been experiencing the COVID-19 crisis, and so that's been affecting everything. We have a small craft beer company, so we started 7 years ago. We started a festival. This year we had to call it off. We had a whole fall tour that all had to get canceled. So we're working on a couple different albums, that'll start to come out next year.
My final question for you is, if you could talk to yourself the first day you went on tour, right now, what would you say to yourself then?
Oh man. Take off those polyester pants. But no. I don't know. On a serious note, I think I would say, I would just say, enjoy it. Enjoy where you are right now. Enjoy what you're getting to do. Not that I haven't the entire time, but I think just really soaking it up at a time where you're first getting to experience something that is really rare and amazing and incredibly cool, to suddenly be able to do something that you love and have people loving it back. I would just encourage that version of me to just really enjoy it and to revel in that and make sure to take mental snapshots. We've gotten to do that for decades now, and so many amazing fans and so many amazing shows, to this day. But in those days, it's especially fresh and it's special, so don't forget.
That's awesome. For people listening, where can we find you on social?
Yeah, Hanson Music, or Hanson.net is the band website. And then you can find me at, you can really only see me on Instagram. So Taylor Hanson at Instagram, if you want to know what else is going on in my world.
Thank you so much for doing this. I hope you had fun. I learned a lot about you. It was pretty incredible.
It was such a joy to be able to talk to Taylor Hanson. Thank you so much for joining me on Uncool with Alexa Bliss. If you want more, you can hear brand new episodes right now. Search Uncool with Alexa Bliss on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and hit follow or subscribe. New episodes will be released every Tuesday. And let's talk about your uncool moments on social media by using the hashtag #UncoolWithAlexa. Thank you again so much for watching, and remember, it's cool to be uncool.
We learned songwriting from like old soul music and rock and roll.
Oh my God, sorry, Ryan just scared the out of me.
What's up, man?